Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the first ever podcast of The Beats Kitchen. And today we are having a special guest with us, which is who is India's best hip hop DJ Kave over here.
What's up? What's up, Jay?
All
Thank
good,
you
all
so
good.
much for having me over in
Thank
your
you, sir.
city for your podcast. I've been looking forward to this. And Jay, man, big shout out to Beats Kitchen, and I'm going to be performing tonight at Tonic.
Tonic,
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to that, man.
Even I'm like, I was waiting for this moment.
Awesome.
And today it's not going to be something very controversial, something very low. We're going to keep it as we can say
Real.
natural. Yeah, real. So here we go. I'll start shooting you up with the questions I'm having
Go
over
for
here.
it, my man.
And my first question, like I used to do interviews in lockdown too.
Okay.
So I always ask this question to every DJ. Okay. So how did you got into DJing, and what was that one thing which pulled you off towards DJing?
Great question, man. So for me, I was walking across a music store. This was in Doha, Qatar, where I did my schooling and everything.
Okay.
And I heard this track that was like something that I've never heard before. Obviously, when I grew up listening to Michael Jackson, like most of us did, right?
Yeah.
And after that, it was this track that just really got my attention. And I went inside and I asked this record store guy, like, what song is this? And he pulled out a CD. And in that CD says Coolio's Gangster Paradise. And it was stuck in my head, And, I had to buy the whole album for that one song. I wouldn't be able to download it. And after repeatedly listening to it, I wanted to change a few elements in that track, And then I was like, okay, this is probably my imagination. And then I heard this Bali Sagu's Bollywood flashback. And then in that, he would scratch. He would take the drum beat and scratch.
Right.
Like, I've heard all kinds of beats from all sorts of music and tracks, whatever genres you may call it, but I've never heard the chuvu. And that was stuck in my head. And I did my research, and I heard this was called scratching, and I had like no idea on how to do it, what equipment to get. But then luckily, that's when internet was around, and
Right.
I would watch videos of Qbert and Mixmaster Mike, and the moment I saw that, I was like, shit, this was it. I have to do this.
Right.
This would be the best feeling ever, and to do this for myself, obviously, and then to do this for 10 people at least would be even amazing. And then today I'm, thank to God, I'm able to do this in front of thousands of people,
So I just highlighted one part. You said that vuku sound. in our circle we call it wiki sound.
Wiki sound. Yeah. We all have a different
Yeah.
different samples. We
Right.
use different samples,
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like starting it from Doha, as you were born and brought up in
Yeah,
Doha.
I was born and brought up in Doha, but then Doha, I wanted to come back to India. I always loved my roots. I wanted to come here, and I wanted to do this sound engineering course called the Audio Engineering Recording Arts course.
Okay.
So I did that because I just yes, obviously I learned DJing by myself. I'm a self-taught, but I wanted to have more theoretical knowledge. But I did come across a few DJ schools in India. Just didn't have the opportunity to go and enroll for them because I was focusing on sound engineering.
Yeah.
But then what I did was I did a 2 days crash course with a British DJ called Tom, who happened to be touring in Singapore that time.
Okay.
And somehow we fixed an arrangement for a 2 day scratch workshop, DJ workshop.
Okay.
And I went there, and this was in 2004. And then I went there and I did my bit, whatever I've learned by myself, and then he took that and he's like, okay, you know what? Let me give you some pointers. Let me give you some tips and everything. And it was just 2 days, and I spent I don't know. I still remember I spent like 3,000 Singapore dollars. That was so much money, but then you know what? That was worth it, man. If I could go back in time, I would spend more money, and
Right.
because you know what? There's a whole difference in you can be self-taught, but when you learn under somebody's guidance, that is so valuable.
Right.
Because you get the right mentor, you save a lot of time, save a lot of energy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think like those 2 days must be like a blessing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And he told me exactly what mixer to get. So I got the Vestax mixer.
The golden
And
one.
yeah, Vestax mixer. So it was a scratch mixer, and I even bought a QFO.
Okay.
QFO, and a lot of needles, scratch records. there was a store called the Valentine's DJ store,
Okay.
where they had records and DJ equipment just all around the shop. You could just try them before you buy them. That was so
Oh.
cool. And I used to think like, when is this going to come
To India.
ever? Right?
Still, it is
If
not there. I would say. Still, it is.
I
not
don't know
there.
why, but then maybe you and I should, open up
Right.
a store.
But obvious.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
One question,
Yeah.
like this was my personal question, and I have been asked this question by many others. I would ask you the same. What is the reason behind your stage name?
Ah,
Kave.
okay. Oh, good question.
This was a
See,
surprise.
Yeah. This was not part of the. You never sent me these questions before. Anyways, so it's just simple. My real name is Venkatesh, right?
Yeah.
So it is VENKA. So I had to just remove the letters, misjumble
Okay.
them, and put it out there. That was it.
I thought you
Yeah.
must be having a good story behind it.
That was it. This is it, man.
And that's what DJs do.
Yes, they do. But for me, it was very random and very simple.
Yeah.
I just couldn't sell Venkatesh on a flyer.
Obviously,
Even though my
yes.
friend was like, "You should just have Venkatesh." What are you doing? What's his name? Cave. So weird. Like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, no, it just sounds easy to pronounce. It just sounds easy to remember.
Right.
You won't believe the first name I went with was SKID, Skid. Scratchmaster Skid
Okay.
was the first name. I actually did like 4 shows in Chennai
Okay.
and Bangalore with using that name, Skid, Scratchmaster Skid.
Okay.
But then for some reason, this club manager friend of mine said that something doesn't feel right about it. Change it.
Okay.
And obviously don't change it to Venkatesh because that won't sell.
Right.
And I said, okay. So then I sat down and I figured something out with this.
And the best part of your name is like no one can pronounce it wrong.
Exactly. And you can't forget it. It's the most weirdest, ridiculous
like
name.
my name.
Yeah.
My stage name is J Tribe.
J-Tribe. That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
That's
but people when I
Yeah.
travel to 2-tier maybe 3-tier cities, I've traveled to Punch. I did a gig for Indian Army.
Yeah.
You won't believe they promoted the whole show on big flexes like that by the name of DJ Tribe.
Oh, so cool.
Okay, but it was not J Tribe.
It's okay. You're there. You're
Yeah.
the J. That's the tribe.
So that's a big regret, but that's a plus point you
Okay.
have, that no one can pronounce your name wrongly, right?
Okay. Can I tell you something? Okay. I wanted to let this slip, but then let me embarrass myself. Allow me
Yeah,
to.
sure.
They have on stage. So
Okay.
I finished this. I was doing this gig with. So after I performed with Aaryan, me and one of his playback singers, rapper Blase,
Okay.
did a series of shows, and then when we finished, this was at superstar Pawan Kalyan's audio launch
Okay.
in Hyderabad, and then they wanted to give us a few gifts, and they called my friend. They called him over. They gave him. Then they pronounced. We welcome Kave, DJ Kave. And I was like, who the fuck is that? That's ridiculous. Which motherfucker is that? And then I was like, that's me! So my friends are laughing, go, bitch, that's you. And I was like, fuck, Kave.
I didn't even thought of it.
I couldn't even And trust me, half the time people call me Kave. Because that sounds more Indian for some
Okay.
reason. Because people will be like, who will call themselves Cave? And which mother or father would name their kids Cave?
The coolest name in our community, in our DJ turntables community, not in DJing community, I would say, in turntables community, is the name you love that guy. It's DJ Skip.
Absolutely, yes.
I don't know how did he
Yeah.
came up with this name.
Yes.
But it's pretty cool and it's very quick.
Yes.
DJ Skip.
Skip, yes,
Right?
I agreed with that, yeah.
So he has a good name.
Yeah,
I would say.
absolutely.
And till now I was thinking
Yes.
you were having a good time, but you told a good backstory.
Yes, now you know.
Okay, so you have been DJing since 20 years, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, man, it's been an on and off thing. Like, I took up audio engineering. I worked in a studio, just sitting and editing tracks for a year and a half
Okay.
on Nuendo and Pro Tools.
Okay.
Okay, and that got pretty boring. I was paying really well. But then after that, I became an English teacher for an IELTS academy, and I started doing really well.
Okay.
And one of my dad's friends was opening up an academy in Bangkok,
Okay.
and they were paying lakhs, and they
Oh.
said he wants somebody to come and assist and take care of this. I just didn't feel right. I just said, like, you know what? I love teaching, but this is not English is not something that I want to teach. it's not because of some imposter syndrome or something like that, but just genuinely, I love DJing, right? And I like teaching.
Right.
So I thought, let me just put both of these together. And I do workshops around the country, sharing the art form of DJing
Right.
and turntablism. And I love teaching, man. I love teaching, scratching, and
Right.
DJing.
Right.
That's more fun. I feel fulfilled. Definitely, I'm not an
this-
expert in that, but whatever I know, I share.
Yeah, and that's what gives us a boost.
Correct. And you know the best part is, I meet my student in 2 years, and I have something new to learn from him.
Yeah. One of your students.
Now, who's the teacher? Who's the new student now?
I
huh?
think it is
So,
just a knowledge exchange.
It's exchange.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Because they got like, sometimes they see him, they're like, oh, he's the master, he's the teacher. I said, no, I don't.
Obviously,
I just do my thing. And
Even-
there are
even-
people who can do a lot more
Right.
crazy stuff they know. So we have to just get into the community and learn from each other. Isn't that the best experience?
Obviously, yes.
And it's so not ego driven. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, yes. Even I do the same with my students. Like my students, I am not more into production. I do production, but only when I get a good idea in my head. And that's mostly remixes, right?
Oh yeah.
Flips or remixes. But my students produce their own music and they teach me a lot.
It's amazing. You know,
And even in DJing, they come up with some new mashup ideas and they share their ideas, and it's pretty cool, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's one thing common between us. Even in my college days, I wanted to become an export teacher, export subject teacher.
Oh.
But by teaching my friends passed and I dropped out in that subject.
That's high five. Insane.
But luckily, when I put it in rechecking and I got passed.
Okay.
But that was a good
That
kick
was-
over here.
I love this
So
story.
on that day, I decided that I'll teach something else. I
Okay.
didn't knew what I'm gonna teach, and today I'm here. I'm having my own academy and I'm teaching music,
Great,
and that
man.
is the best experience, I would say.
Absolutely. You know, I've just realized, you know, when we teach, we learn a lot.
Obviously,
And
yes.
I'm sure, like, I can tell you, if I wouldn't have been teaching, I don't think even I would be DJing. Because
Obviously,
for me, it goes hand in hand. you
right,
know?
right. So it's pretty cool. So in past 20 years, what is the major difference you have experienced till now? Like,
Okay, so here's the thing. So, back then, I would feel like, it was more about the lyrics, right? So when we first got into hip hop music, why we like hip hop music? It's because of, like, Eminem,
obviously, yes.
And then we realized it's, wait, hold on a second. There is Tupac. There is Biggie.
Yeah.
So that is one phase we go into, and
That is
you
a core
realize
hip hop,
that,
I would say.
and then we would go deep further, like Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh,
Yeah. Then we figure that out and be like, oh shit, this is so good to listen to. I'm not sure if we can play this in clubs and make
People
party rock
dance,
with
yeah.
these tracks, but then it's so good.
right.
I can listen to it in my car. But then next, fast forward, then you have 50 Cent comes in.
Ah,
Yeah, it's all good. Now it's like, I'm on the streets and I'm catching a Rick and my auto guy is playing in the club.
and that's in the
Hip-hop's
club
mainstream.
now.
And that's,
Yeah.
it's mainstream. I'm so happy. But then I realized, I don't know what. I'm disconnected after a few years later.
Hmm.
After 50 Cent, I just feel like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. I just lose interest.
Yeah.
And I just keep going back.
Okay.
And I'm just like not able to stay to the present moment. Because the lyrics aren't that, interesting
Okay.
or captivating as how it used to be
Mm-hmm.
with Biggie, Pac, and Eminem.
Obviously.
And then even the beats, the production wasn't all that okay. It was okay.
But not that happening.
Yes, I love Timbaland. Yeah, but then I wouldn't know, like, after a point, things started blurry. I don't know if it was hip hop or pop, and it was a good thing happening. It was all good.
But you were not going to.
Yeah, I was not listening to it for like the sake of listening to it.
Yeah.
I would just listen to it because I'm going to play these tracks in the club.
Right.
So probably the only artist during that time, that phase, I would listen to, I really liked, was Timbaland.
Okay.
And then post Timbaland, again, I didn't connect with anybody. And then the new school era started. There was a total disconnect. I never really just liked new school.
Anyone.
Just never could feel it. And I checked with my friends, and I'm like, they were like, yeah, it's just like mumble rap. I don't feel anything. And yeah, man, it's all shit. It's not like, rap's gone. It's all gone. But then after a while, I gave it a chance. I said, let me just listen to this. Okay, so who's there? Then, okay, Future and a bunch of other rappers. And I listened to Future, and I was like, fuck, he is amazing.
Obviously.
I fell in love with hip hop again with new school.
Okay.
So much so that I stopped even listening to old school
Ah,
and I went purely new school.
okay.
And I loved playing new school.
Okay.
I knew all the lyrics. I listened to their stuff. It's just what I'd like to say is that it's whatever has been rapped about or whatever has already been said. Or whatever's been said has already been said by Tupac.
Right.
Tupac has already said everything that has to be said
Obviously,
about the
yes.
streets.
Obviously,
Biggie
yes.
has said everything about gangsters and streets.
Yeah.
Eminem's already talked about parents and trauma and everything. What else are you gonna talk about, man?
Party.
Nothing. Okay, 50 Cents talk about pussies and drugs and alcohol and everything. Everything is spoken about, right?
Yeah.
So the lyrical stuff, it's done. It's no longer fresh. Can't get fresher than this.
Right.
What's left is the sonic capabilities of music production.
Right.
That is so cool when it comes to new school hip hop. The last 5 years, it's been the stuff that's been coming out. It's been really cool.
Okay.
So
that's the difference.
That's a
from lyrics to music.
Yeah, music. Yeah, and yes, it's all that mumble rap stuff. Yes, but it's the lyrics have taken a backseat. I'm okay with that.
Okay. And now you have adapted it.
Yeah, I'll just scratch to it. I don't need lyrics, man. It's cool. Fuck it.
I just need a good sample.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as a DJ from past 20 years, what is the difference you have feel between turntablism and CDJs?
I started out playing on CDs, and I have great respect for CD players, CDJs, because I still remember walking into the store, watching those, CDJs, the earlier models of the CDJs, not the thousands, but the ones previously, and I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And I always wanted to have them. I could never do that. And even when I got the turntables, I felt CDs are just another medium of another format.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I love about turntables is just that 12-inch size that gives you that range to do crazy stuff. And these days you can do 60% of scratches and scratching technique on CD players, but there are still techniques that you cannot do
on CDJs.
CDJs.
Right. Yeah.
Like you cannot do techniques like playing with a platter. Certain techniques. You cannot play with a platter because the platters, that's not going to rotate, right? So things like this. But I feel turntables are more fun and it's easier to DJ on. That's what I feel.
Okay.
Yeah. CDJs are great. They're like standard. They're going to be there. It's just that everywhere it's industry standard. That's a good thing. Sometimes, if I feel like playing on CDJs, I can go and do my thing on CDJs and come back to it. It's just a tool.
Yeah.
I feel it's just a tool. I don't see anything like they both have disadvantages and advantages.
Right.
In fact, there was this period of time before phase technology. In case people don't know what phase is, we have to give them an update on that because phase is a tool that, earlier we would have cartridges, needles. We take the needle, put it on the turntable and scratch or play or cue or mix with it. Phase is a Bluetooth device which no longer needs a needle and the tone knob. Right. The advantages of this is that there is no skipping or bouncing of tracks and you don't get embarrassed when you scratch or beat juggle. Right. So before phase, it was even with Serato, like we know tracks are not supposed to skip on Serato when we're using relative mode, right? But wrong. I would be performing on stages which are like constructed in one day in different parts of the country.
Just because of the bounce it used to skip?
Yes, a lot of stuff. And I was touring with this UK-based rapper, female rapper, and back then she was hot. Her music was all over Bollywood. And then what happened was we would be in different parts of the country, and the stage setup was not all that great.
Right.
And so there would be vibration, and we had. The reason for the vibration was we had about 8 dancers on stage. B-boys flipping and boom.
Right.
When they're like boom, land. When all of them land, my needles just go boom. And then the track skips and she's like, what happened to the song? I'm like, it's not my fault. So that happened during in an NBA show in Delhi. Okay. I was super embarrassed. The pressure came onto me. Whereas, people didn't understand. I had to say, hey, listen, I'm using needles. Come on, guys. This is not CDJs. Then they were like, how do we fix this? This was 2013.
Okay.
2013. There was no phase. I
Okay.
said, let's move. Give me CDJs with vinyl mode working. So during my sound checks, I would check if the vinyl mode is working on
Working
the
good.
CDJs.
Yeah, right.
If they were good, they asked me, "Do you want turntables?" No, I don't want turntables. It's not good for me right now.
You don't want to
Unless it's
take
a
that
club-
risk anymore.
Unless it's a club with an infrastructure
Right.
ready for DJ equipment.
Right.
If it's like constructed within a day, temporary, I don't
Then
want it. Because we're gonna have a lot of people coming in, performers, and doing their thing. So that way, there are certain times where CDJs are great, and other cases. Turntables.
But still, turntables are fun.
Of course, man, I love turntables. I love.
Okay. What are the essential skills you think DJs today should have? At least those skills they should have as a
Yeah.
DJ.
Okay. First thing, you should be able to beat match.
Obviously, yes.
The basics. Always, end of the day, it's just a lot of people talk about the advanced stuff. Like the scratching, the beat juggling, the trick mixing, the effects and everything. Yes, all of that is cool. But then the basics, beat matching. Track selection, super important. The most important. I think,
Obviously,
is
yes.
track selection, right? And keeping things first in the beginning, just keep it simple. Not too fancy, and then just build your way through the night and work the crowd that way. Understand the crowd. Crowd psychology, dance floor psychology is massive.
Obviously, yes.
So all of these three things that I mentioned are the most important. And then there are other stuff that comes on, the creative ways you can DJ. It's, limitless possibilities. If you ask me, I would say like scratching, beat juggling. And what kind of scratches? Yes, you have plenty of scratches. You have like Autobahn. You have a hippopotamus scratch technique. You have the butterfly scratch technique.
Right.
But then, is that going to work in a club? I don't think so. What works in a club? Joe Cooley with chirps. Joe Cooley with chirps. Crabs.
That's your favorite, if I'm
Transformers.
not wrong.
Which,
Crab is your favorite.
yeah, kind of. Crabs, Joe Cooley, chirps, Transformers, stabs.
Stabs.
I
Yeah.
love stabs too. And so all of these stuff, which are not too basic, but they're kind of intermediate.
And these scratches are somewhere connecting to the audience.
Yes, exactly. Because I listen to a lot of, just like how we're doing a podcast and a lot of people listening to us. I listen to a lot of podcasts from Jazzy Jeff.
Okay.
And there's one thing I was in the gym, I was working out, listening to his podcast. I just stopped and I rewinded, and it was already in my head. You know how sometimes you listen to your idol, your senior DJ, and you'll be like, "Fuck!" It was always in my mind. Even I feel the same. That was one of those moments. So let me share it with you. Jazzy Jeff said that, I see a lot of people, he's judged a lot of competition, watched a lot of top turntablists, and a lot of people are doing a lot of advanced techniques and everything, right? Okay, that's great. But then it is the basic stuff which what connects with the crowd. Even Rob Swift said that. Okay, he said a baby scratch is so powerful
Obviously, yes.
that we all focus on to the butterfly technique and the whips and the thing, and focus on all of that stuff. The European stuff. No hate for the European stuff, DJs, but I'm saying the American DJs have more soul to it, right? So we focus on too much on the technical, advanced new stuff that we forget about the simple stuff. But the simple stuff is what really works.
Right.
End of the day.
And
that's what connects. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what connects, and we
Exactly.
need that stuff. And yeah.
So that was about our scratching and techniques. Could you name a few hip hop albums from 20s till now in your favorite list?
My favorite list.
Yeah.
Okay. So last year it was nominated by the Grammys.
Okay.
It didn't win Grammys because I think Kendrick Lamar's album won the Grammys.
Okay.
This album was by Future. It was called I Never Really Liked You.
Okay.
Or I Never Liked You. One of these names. I think that by far for me is one of the best albums in the last 3 years, I would say. Because
Okay.
I love Future's work. And if I had to choose a track in that, it doesn't come to my mind, but what do I say? But yeah, that's the album, I would say. Okay. Apart from that, if I had to pick a song, it'd be The Box. I play it all the time, like every show. The Box. I can scratch to that, juggle to that, and all of that. And then if I have to pick something that is, so I've been mentioning the stuff that's on the charts, but then something that's not on the charts, let me blow your mind, Eve. That's something that I play all the time. it's just like a evergreen hit. It should be like the best song, but I don't know why
And
it's
I
not.
think
Yeah.
that's a video which went viral.
That went viral. So it was, yeah, there was like two channels posted it. One went 17 million, other
Okay.
one went 14 million. So
Okay.
compared to some 30, do the math, it's like some crazy number. And yeah, and yeah, that's.
I think we have used the same video for our promotions too. Yeah. So that was cool. This question is very selfish, I would say, for myself. And now these guys are gonna get the benefit of it. How do you curate your sets? How do you
Okay.
make your sets basically? And what are the steps you take before touring to any city? Let's say if you're playing in Goa, then what kind of sets you make? You're coming to Lucknow, and what kind of sets you're going to make?
Correct.
So how do you curate your sets?
Correct. Absolutely. Great question. So what I do is, first thing is, I try to, figure out two things. First, I try to see if it's a commercial club or commercial audience, right? Then I would have a set prepared with I would have a folder called the bangers.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how I give it this cringy name called the bangers one, and then I have a folder called the real hip hop.
Okay.
Real hip hop with just all the stuff. The next episode still the real stuff that people, when you play, it's so obvious it's hip
The
hop.
thing
And
is,
everybody
like,
connects
these
to
are
it.
20 years old, but
20
still
years old,
sounds fresh.
sounds fresh, because
Yeah.
I have another folder of all of these tracks.
Yeah.
So how I use this is that I have all of these ready. It's all planned. Probably set them according to, like, first we put them on a crate, set it up through BPM. Then we go do a key check to see if one song blends into the other perfectly.
Obviously.
Then if I'm doing any mashups with that, then again keep that into a different folder, and have mashups folder, mashups, this mashups.
That's what
Okay,
I
so we do
too.
that. Okay, and then if I do multi-genre mashups, like if I decide to all of a sudden, if I want to like surprise, I want to like take like old school and then play techno with it, like I can do that stuff. Just if I have to do it. And so these are the stuff that I do, and then I have like a safe set, like which I know which will work with
Any audience. Yeah.
And then I have like more kind of a very interesting set, which will connect with the few people who are those people who won't come into the front of the dance floor, but they would be far away. But they're like, I know hip hop.
Someone like DJs.
so it'll connect with them, and then they'll appreciate it, and then I'll get a ego boost.
And somewhere, like, when we play from the console,
Yeah.
we check those crowd standing apart from the dancing one.
Yeah.
And then we see they are shaking their heads.
Yeah.
Okay, they're grooving.
Yeah.
And that's enough for us. Right?
Yeah. I see a lot of memes, on, this guy walking across the club, and he's looking, and he's like, and the other person like, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. And he's actually Shazamming the other DJ's set.
Every DJ does that.
Yeah, it's a good thing, man. You should do that.
Obviously.
Why not? Why shouldn't you do that? You should do that. I think if I'm at a gig, and if I'm enjoying, I'm gonna Shazam the stuff I don't know. Why? It'll be arrogance not to, right?
Right.
It's like, why am I gonna let my ego come in the way? Of course I'm gonna Shazam. I'm gonna Shazam your set tonight.
That's gonna be more of a Bollywood and hip hop.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how you curate your sets, and then I think most of the DJs does that. But the only thing which is unique about Turntables is we do a lot of things live. Yeah. And we are always scared somewhere or nervous somewhere ki we should not miss that beat, right?
100%.
Eh?
But sometimes when you really don't want to do it, then it happens.
Yeah.
But you gotta recover, soldier.
I'll tell you one short story. I was playing in front of 3,000, 4,000 people.
Okay.
I made a cappella of Right Now by Akon. Okay. And I was fully confident, okay, of doing a live Afrobeat mashup of it. Okay. And I would say that was my overconfidence, which gave me a reality check that you're not always right. Okay. What happened is I pressed the wrong hotkey button on the set. And but the power of being a turntablist is you can scratch it anytime.
You can make the thing as part of the routine.
Yeah.
It's part of the routine. You haven't heard it yet.
And people
Hold on, you haven't heard it yet. Let me come back. I'm coming again.
exactly. And people will be like, whoa!
Yes.
Whoa! And that's why
They won't be able to tell the difference except the ones in the back.
The one who's
For sure.
having a good music knowledge, I would
Yes,
say,
yes,
not only
yes.
DJs, but there are people in the audience who are having good sense of music,
Yes,
good sense of bars, I would say.
100%.
When we miss bar, people are there who
I feel
point
it's
you out.
hardwired, bro. I feel we all, jokes apart, it's hardwired into us. That's why when somebody, say for example, when we all DJ, especially as beginners, we're gonna train rec and stuff. We're gonna double beat, however you wanna call it. Immediately the crowd would know it.
Right.
The crowd knows it. You bring any guy and they will tell you something is off. That's
They
not
don't
the way it
know.
should.
They don't know the technical terms,
Because
but they know.
it's all hardwired into our
Yeah.
DNA because we already have that the basic sense of timing.
Right.
We have that in
Right.
us.
Right.
So there is no way we can fool the crowd and get away with that.
Obviously, yes. They the crowd don't know the technical terms, but they know that something is missing over here.
Yes.
And yes, I think being a turntable is a good thing. Okay. Being a senior DJ, as you are my senior DJ, and I
Guys, I'm not a senior. I'm just I'm a guy who's learning. I'm just.
But still,
do my thing.
we will keep
Please
it
don't
a
call
bit
me
real.
senior.
So-
we're fellow DJs.
Obviously,
That's
yes.
it.
So-
We're all equals.
I have started my journey from 2014.
That's
right?
it. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Years don't matter. We're all in the same community. We're all
Obviously.
we all respect each other.
So
We're all equals. That's all I see.
big ups to you for that. And when I started DJing, I wanted to learn what is hip hop. Okay, I used to listen to music. I used to listen to Lil Wayne, Eminem, Akon, Pitbull, these kind of rappers. I grew up listening to these rappers, and I was not knowing what genre is this. Trust me, I was not knowing, but I used to feel connected to this music. Okay, but when I got into DJing, I got to know that this is called hip hop, and this is something which stands apart from other genres. And this is not only a genre, this is a culture. Okay, so I got more interested towards it. And then there was this club in Mumbai called Masala Bar. Okay, and Kenai was playing over there. And trust me, I used to do a job of stewards over there. I was a steward over there.
Okay.
I was in my college days and I had to get money in my pocket, so I used to do a job of steward. And Kenai was playing over there. Okay, and the best part, there were two DJs before him who were opening for him, and they didn't pick the mic. Okay, when Kenai came, he gave his intro, okay, through a MP3 thing, and then he picked up the mic. The crowd which was scattered, it gathered. Okay, and that's what I felt कि यार ये DJ क्या कर रहा है? I want to do the same. Okay, he was the first hip hop DJ I've ever witnessed. So that was his set, and on that set I was like कि यार I want to do this. Okay, by the time I was doing I used to participate in War of DJs, and I used to learn. So I would love to say that even I'm self-learned. No one has taught me, but I used to practice through War of DJs. I was not that rich to take admission in a DJ academy, and I was not that rich to get a DJ equipment. So I used to participate in college War of DJs, and those 5 minutes were my practice time. No matter how many crowd is standing in front of me, but those 5 minutes was like a golden moment for me. Ki I'm getting to touch this
Insane, man.
equipment, right?
Amazing.
So whatever set I used to listen, there was this DJ. There's this DJ from Mumbai, Conrad. He's a resident DJ at Coco right now. He used to play a lot of hip hop shows in several clubs in Mumbai. I used to go there. I used to take a book and write it over there. Okay, so this is something I would say every DJ should do. Okay, and people are somewhere shy of saying this. Not shy. Shy is not the right word. They are scared of saying this, that I'm noticing. I'm writing it down. They feel it awkward. They feel like someone will bully them. Do you think this is right?
Yeah, no, you should write. You should do your research.
This part came in my mind just because of the Shazam thing we had a word about. So back in the days we didn't have Shazam.
Correct. Yes. So we would write it. Yes. Absolutely, that's a good thing. And honestly, why should we care what others think? They're not gonna.
Obviously, yes. Okay. Coming to something very real, what is the difference you feel between the commercial music and underground music, and what do you feel like when you play underground music on your set, and when you play commercial music on your set? What is that one thing you wish ki this should happen in India somewhere?
Okay, so interesting question, right? So there was this point where I took a break from playing anything that was top 40, and I went into what you would call a pure turntablist mode, where it would just be something that I would be dropping break beats.
Okay.
I had these records from DJ Swamp
Uh-huh.
and a lot of these battle break records, and I play the keyboards dirt style records, which also have scratch sample, but you also have breaks and beats, really good ones, electro breaks, electro beats, and drum and bass, stuff. This is also great to scratch to, So because when I grew up, as a turntablist, my influences were not just Qbert or Mixmaster Mike. It was also DJ Godfather.
Okay.
I'm sure you would have heard about it. He just mixes scratches
Obviously,
and everything.
yes.
So stuff like that is what I really liked performing my scratches onto. But I just felt that whenever I would do that, it would just be like a one-time showcase, and it would just be like something that would be great for like a 20, 30, 40 minutes set max, at the max 1 hour. Because I'm just like scratching and just playing stuff that people don't know, I've never heard before, and I'm just not really letting the track play. I'm just doing something or the other over it, and even if it's playing, is this something that it's very because it's underground. It's just one of those records that only I'm proud to have because nobody's got it, nobody can track it, nobody can Shazam it.
Right.
It's cool stuff, but it's just something that I'm doing it for myself, and I'm expecting others to just hop on and sort of compelled. Then I realized that, what, okay, let me just do this and then just do mainstream as well.
Okay.
I was getting a little bit confused. It's like, what am I doing? I'm like, I'm scratching on pop. Is that really what I should be doing? That's not how Qbert does or Mixmaster Mike does, and Mixmaster Mike does it on this. But then that might not work here.
Right.
That's different. That's a different country.
Right.
Maybe it might. I should take more effort, right? I can still do it. But I realized that the bigger picture was I really gave it some good thought, and what I really wanted to do is to sort of bring scratching to a place where everybody can understand it, and that's when I really felt my role as a turntablist in our turntablist community.
Yeah.
Who am I? Okay, what do I stand for? What are my values when it comes to scratching and turntablism and beat juggling? Do I want to be the most advanced scratching guy who knows all these amazing techniques? No. Because I know there's always going to be somebody who's going to be better than me, and always that's a natural way. It's like, no. What do I want to do? Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm able to take whatever I'm doing, take it out to a larger audience. So this was in my mind, and I was still visualizing this at my club where I used to DJ in Chennai.
Okay.
And remember when I told you that when I moved to Chennai, I learned audio engineering. So my classmate once from that audio engineering came to the club, saw me do my scratching bit, and he said, "This is so cool. I'll see you later." And he left. And a week or 2 weeks later, he calls me and he says, "Hey, you were doing this wiki things, turntables and thing. I now work at this so-called one of the biggest record labels in India." He's like, this another person is connected to this other person, who is the rapper for Aaryan.
Okay.
So he wanted to come and meet you. I mean, no, he wanted to meet you. So I went to his place and I showcased my scratching. And he loved it. We did a few shows. And then later, I have to mention his name, Rapper Blaze. He is my mentor.
Okay.
And all my gratitude for him, because he was one of the person who helped me so much. And of course, DJ Kanai. My brother DJ Kanai, so he's helped me so much in my career as well. And so these are the two people who are like my pillars when it comes to hip hop and turntablism in our career. And Blase, my brother Blase, rapper Blase, he called me and he said that Aaryan, as you know, heard the news, right? He's won the Oscar. So we're doing a Jeho tour,
Okay.
starting from Kozhikode and Pune. You want to be on it? Come to his place. I went to his place. I set up my turntables. I took a millionaire, Mangani millionaire, a cappella. Aaryan was standing there, scratched it. He heard it, and he was like, my role was to be a part of Blase's skit in that concert.
Okay.
That was the deal. He heard me, and then he was like, why don't you be part of the whole band and then take all the stems and scratch to that. And I took all the stems, and I'll show you a video of what I did. I took all the top Aaryan songs and did a mashup of it, edited and scratched over it. And it was a dream come true because I was able to do this in front of 50,000 people for the Jeho tour, which happened in Kozhikode and in Pune.
Oh, and that too with the legend himself.
Yeah, and post that I got a lot of gigs with the tag saying Aaryan's official DJ. And it was like I got like some 100 gigs after that with that tag. So that was like crazy. So yeah.
Nice. So yeah, that was cool. Coming to a very controversial question now. People are gonna enjoy this, especially the DJs. What do you think? Female DJs are taking over the market, right? And there are like we have to accept this. There are promoters who are just promoting fake DJs, and you know what terms of fake DJs we are talking about. And I wanted to talk this on the channel. Maybe it is small or big, it doesn't matter. But I wanted to talk this. Do you think this is affecting our business too? Not only business but also career.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
At all, because I just feel like, even if you do this whole fake DJing thing, I think it's started somewhere around 2012 for the New Year's Eve gigs. When people used to do the rounds, all the promoters would do the rounds looking for.
Still they do that.
So this, we all know how this came about. So anyway, but then come on, really, you see, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is, and if it's happening, that's its own market. And it's not going to affect the.
I'm not talking
overall,
about. I'm not talking about the turntablist only.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the whole DJing scene.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I believe in the law of abundance. Okay. I feel like there is no way that we know that there are so many clubs in India that we cannot sit and list our name out.
Right.
We'll forget it.
Right.
That's a good sign because we have so many clubs.
Obviously.
I believe in the law of abundance that God is not going to take one thing from you to give to another. Everybody's going to get what they deserve.
Yeah.
And they will get their share.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in even the logic of competition doesn't exist. It's created by the devil. It's not. It's to bring in problems between brotherhood and the community.
Yeah.
No, everybody's going to get their share. Just because one person's got it doesn't mean it's taken from somebody. That's an illusion. No.
Yeah.
What is meant for you will come to you no matter what.
That was good. That was pretty good. And now people are not going to talk anything controversial about female DJs anymore after this one. So this was cool. Okay. This is a very good one. And upcoming DJs should take a good tip from this question. What do you think? Like streaming platforms, you must be remembering the platform which was called as Trio. So these like applications like these, platforms like these, like Twitch, Strio, you talk about SoundCloud too, Mixcloud, we post our sets on it, right? And how can you use social media and these streaming platform together to blend to somewhere like upscale your market in a positive way or in a negative way, whatever.
Good question. See, Strio was around. There was an amazing concept. I really loved it. Okay, but right now, if I have to shortlist and save everybody's time, there are just two apps. It's Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah.
I think we should just focus all our attention on just these two and create content for the platform, for Instagram and for YouTube. Specifically, design both our social media platforms, but slightly different. So we have to tweak it,
right,
and post content on there. I don't know anything else that's as powerful as this, and that's going to give you as much as ROI.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, and so
yeah,
this is it. So you need so here's the thing. Okay, technical information. If you're doing a routine, you need to make sure you're not the sound, for example, you're doing a routine, you have your speaker here, you have the phone on a tripod. The sound that's being recorded on the phone should not be the one from the speaker on a
Right.
table, where it should be recorded from a recorder,
Right.
like the one you're holding, or inside the laptop through a sound card, and then you take the file out and then you merge and
it.
sync
Yeah.
the audio. The video quality also has to be of a certain 4K.
Right.
So I think, I'm not trying to promote any particular kind of phones here, but iPhones are great
Yeah.
for this. I shoot 4K on iPhone, vertical mode for Instagram, and horizontal mode for YouTube. An iPhone is all you need, and a basic sound recorder and a lav mic, and you're good to go. You can shoot content. Consistency is the key here. And another thing is what I wanted to talk about in terms of content is, a lot of people talk about originality, being original. Yes, it's all good. If that's all great, but if you notice all this top global DJs who are good content creators, like if it's YouTube, it's Carlos. Everybody knows Carlos. And if it's for Instagram, it's Max Gabriel.
Okay.
And there's another person I'm not able to recall it. I'm bad with names and numbers. So if you look at them, they do these content where they go like 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
Yeah.
And then be your favorite. I love that. Even I did one from one of my projects that I like doing that. It's pretty interesting, and it's captivating. The audience connect with it, and they quickly comment. It gets the person to engage on that piece of content. So it's engaging content, and a lot of people are doing it. It's not just one person's original idea. Somebody could do that even from India, with our own stuff.
I think one of the DJs between us, like I would name two. Proof have just started it.
Nice. Yes, absolutely. I've checked that out.
There's this DJ, there's this producer
really nice.
in DHH called Reflex. He's doing it with Indian rappers. Like how big fan you are of Divine, how big fan you are of Amiway.
So cool.
Something like that. So he lists up the top charts of
that's so cool. See, that's
discography of that particular art, and that's good. Yeah. This was a good thing you informed about, and this is a good one. Like, can you share a memorable experience you have experience on console or off console in your DJing thing, which you cannot forget till now as a DJ?
Okay, so this I would say it would be that the concert, Aaryan's concert. I still remember that. It was a little before sunset, around 4:30. The organizer of the show, he comes by and said, "You ready with everything?" I'm like, "All good to go." And he's like, there was this kind of a dome thing where I start the track, and then it would turn around, and Aaryan would be sitting, and he would get up and walk, and the crowd would go crazy. So I did a sound check. Even though I did a sound check, then how we DJs do a sound check, or a turntables would do. So I just did, and that was it. And I just had this urge in me to go once, two more. And I was like, oh shit, this is like. Then that took me back to my childhood thing where I was like, So that was the most. I'm like, shit. This was what I wanted to do a long time ago.
And that in front of this big audience.
People, and I took this opportunity. I was like, and I dropped it, and it opened up. And everything came in, and I was like, yeah, this is so cool. And the energy, man, like 50,000 people. That's when I actually witnessed, there is something called the law of emotional state transference. I was like in a good, but I was blanked out, because I was also nervous. And then there was like this rush of energy. I couldn't see, but I could feel it, man. 50,000 people, and boom, we were like, I was like, shit, that was so good. That's a high. That's an intense high.
Right.
It's undescribable high.
That was good. Yeah. And this was a good experience, yeah. What do you think? Like in the Instagram music, which are going over the reels and everything, and when you play those music in club, do you think that makes you cringe too?
No, I do. I do it.
Even I do that.
I get it. It's okay. I get it. It's cringy time. Whatever. Let's do it.
And I think
it's catchy stuff, man.
Exactly.
I listen to it
too. Okay. Yeah. This like when I curated this event for which you're performing tonight. And when I listed when I posted the poster on Instagram that I'm bringing DJ Kave to Lucknow, and people went mad, like, oh shit. And in every city there are these criticizers who talk shit about people, right? And
It's a good thing.
yeah, and that gives us a boost.
100%.
And positive or negative,
100%.
marketing is marketing.
100%. 100%.
And that's what I believe. So these people were talking like this DJ scratches with feet. Yeah. And as a DJ, even I worship our council. So what would you say? Like, this is going to be a good one. What would you say about that? Like,
Yeah, sure, nothing. I'll tell you, here's the thing. I love turntables. Do you know when I got my turntables, even till date, even if there's a speck of dust, I clean it myself, and I just be like, I'm just so careful about the pressure I'm, having on the platter. With that being said, if you see me using my feet on the turntable, it is a strategy, or it's a technique, which I'm not trying. I wasn't. In fact, to be honest with you, let me confess, it wasn't something original that I did.
okay.
It was something that I studied and I replicated
Okay.
from a DJ from Brooklyn.
Okay.
So in turntables, and there's this concept, like called scratching beat juggling, body tricks.
Yeah. We use
Body
our
tricks.
stomach, nose,
Yes,
and
DJ
everything.
Domination and Rob Swift. These guys were one of the pioneers, and there were others too. There was this one interesting guy. He would use his chin.
Yeah.
Some guys used their tongue. Okay, I don't remember who he was, but it was so hard to do that. I didn't post that. Okay, but there was this feet scratch which this guy did, a feet scratch, and he was not just scratching. He was juggling with the feet, bro.
Oh.
It was insane. I'm still trying to practice that. But what am I doing actually? I'm just learning, doing what somebody did, and I'm trying to understand, and I'm field testing it.
Yeah.
I'm field testing it in a gig. I'm saying, like, I learned something. Let me humbly do it.
Apply it and see.
Yeah. Now you tell me, am I doing anything from a place where I'm trying to disrespect the turntables?
I don't think so. Like,
I'm just learning.
It was just an
And
experience.
for me at that point, the feet became just a body part to try a technique
Right.
out.
Pretty cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
And when we
nothing
like, let me just
and yeah, go.
I just wanted to name some DJs who do this in India.
Okay.
This is DJ called Hitu. You
Okay.
must be knowing.
Yes.
He does this with his shoulder,
Oh.
with his chin,
Yeah.
nose,
Yeah.
stomach.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does that.
Right.
And if you know DJ Notorious
Of course.
from
Legend,
India,
Legend.
yeah, you must have seen his video of Times War of DJs.
Yes.
He did it with a stick.
Yes.
He literally did it with a
Yes.
stick,
Yes.
and that was pretty cool.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say this to the.
Can I finish that
Yeah,
up?
sure.
You know, DJ Notorious, you just reminded me of something. You think feet scratching was crazy? We did something even crazier. So in 2000 and I don't know which year that was, 10 or something, to 11, DJ Notorious called me up and said there was this gig happening in Chennai. He wanted me to be a part of it, and we had the turntable set up down, and we wanted to do some trick mixing,
Okay.
which involved in lighting up the records on fire,
Oh.
and then he scratched with it.
Oh. I want to see that
It is
video.
next level stuff. I'm telling you.
I want to see that video if you have it.
Now look at that. We set the stuff on fire.
Okay.
Okay, that's another thing you can do. But if people find that disrespectful, but then that's not what we're trying to do, right?
Right.
Really, do you think after so many years we would want to? Does it make sense to disrespect our own art?
Obviously. No.
Why would I wanna? Why would I wanna?
So this was the question I wanted. That's why I listed it second last in my.
Good question
thing.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a fun question,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be my last question
Mhm.
for the interview session.
Yeah.
Have you ever abused a DJ? Sorry. Have you ever abused a person irritating you on your set?
No, man. No.
Never?
No. I have a good when I'm on my DJ console, I have it's like a different vibe to it. It's just that I don't take in whether it be too negative or too much of any kind of an extreme emotion. It doesn't penetrate because I don't think we should allow as a performer, as an artist, we should not let
Get
the
aggressive,
audience emotions dictate our thing. because that would not be professional in any way.
True.
Imagine going to some good concert, and just because somebody in the crowd is dissing something and the artist there, what do you say about me? You're like, come on, it looked funny, right? You shouldn't do that.
I'll share one incident.
Yeah.
Every DJ shared that
Yeah.
on the story.
Yes.
It's about 6 Beat from
Mhm.
Goa.
Mhm.
You must have seen that video, a girl irritating him.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he handled
Yeah.
it so
Yes, I saw that.
so
That's
gently.
So cool. Yes, so cool. Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
don't touch it, don't touch it. And then
Yeah.
that lady went off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was so cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what, see, most of the DJs get aggressive when stuff like this happens. I did it. I used to do that when I was pretty young, like back in the days when I started. I used to be very aggressive. Okay, how can you touch my console like that? But later on, when I started watching other DJs and learning from them, I became very calm and very cool. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Because see, sometimes people are intoxicated, right? They're not in the sane mind. Yes, sometimes people wanna. Sometimes, yeah, people do. If they can reach you, they would probably try to touch your console. They're not supposed to do that. But then, how are you going to react to it is only that's all you have.
And
It's in your
that's
control.
what reflects your image too.
Yeah, image too. And yeah, it's your own peace of mind too.
Yeah.
Imagine you just getting really angry in the middle of your set, like, and now I have to go like, put your hands up. This doesn't make sense, right?
Okay, so that was a cool interactive session with you. Now we'll go to our next section, which
Okay.
is quick fire.
Sure.
You have to answer them quickly, vinyl or digital.
Vinyl.
Okay. Favorite DJ equipment brand?
Wait, hold on. Let me correct that. DVS.
That was
DVS.
clever, I would say.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, favorite DJ equipment brand?
Techniques.
See, yesterday only when I was writing down this question, my colleague who was sitting next to me, I said him, he's going to say Techniques. So yeah, I won. All-time favorite hip-hop track?
Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise.
Oh, best hip-hop album in past year?
Yeah, Futures, I Don't Really Like You.
Oh, great. Favorite scratch technique?
I would say scribble scratch.
Oh, I betted on crab.
Okay. That's
I lost
also
one.
one of my favorites.
Okay. Most memorable DJ battle you have witnessed?
Oh, okay, good question, man. Okay, this was in 2000. Just give me a moment. Too many. I'm like overloaded. Too many battles. I'm just like. Okay, so does it have to be in person or on videos? Okay.
No,
On
no, no.
YouTube is okay.
It's fine.
Okay, in that case, it is the 2004 battle by DJ Emerge. DMC World Championships battle where Emerge his finishing set was the best. Emerge is the world's. I know. I love Craze. Yes, Netik is good, Rafik is good, but then the greatest turntables ever, best there was, the best there is, the best that ever will be DJ Emerge.
Okay. I'm gonna watch that
Yes,
set again.
That guy is the best.
Okay. Favorite venue or club you have performed?
I would say Kitiko.
Oh, Bangalore. Nice. Who is your dream collaboration you want to do with?
For me,
Yeah.
dream collaboration. Another DJ.
Whoever you can prefer.
For me, a dream collaboration would be Qbert, man. My mentor, my guru, Qbert.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Favorite hip hop producer of all time?
I would say for me, favorite Dr. Dre, bro.
I won again. Most controversial hip hop DJ of India.
Well, it's got to be me because the stuff that's been on the last 1 year on my comment sections and different comment sections. That was me. If you know what I mean.
That's what I said. Yeah, it was good. What is your go-to track in a club or a concert?
Still Dre.
Hey. Our next question is, what's the most challenging moment you have experienced while DJing?
Okay. The most challenging moment. Can you elaborate on like what kind of challenging moment?
I would
you mean?
say
Like,
for me, when I'm playing,
Mhm.
okay, and someone comes on my head for a request,
Right.
and this track is going to end, how would I tackle that? So that kind of something challenging, like.
Yes. So here's the thing. I'm not going to mention the club or the day. Then people will figure it out. So this was a good event, good day, supposed to be, still is. I finished my set. Apparently, the cops jump over into the club.
Okay.
It was a particular festival time, and the club management tell me, please, everybody, leave the club. I'm like, I haven't finished unpacking. I brought my own turntables on stage.
Okay.
And my mixer and everything. Okay, so I haven't told this to anybody yet. Okay, so I'm just telling you right now. So I'm like, okay, I'll come back. And there was like a mob. It was like a big festival. Okay, and lucky for me, my friends stayed a few blocks away. So I went to chill there till the crowd calmed down, and then I came back. And I came back. My friend is like, listen, something really horrible has happened. I'm like, what? Like nothing can happen. I'm all good. Like what happened? And I'm like thinking, what's happening? Like, what's the payment of money? Because that's all advance has all been done. What could else will be happening? Then I'm like, no way. Apparently, let me censor a few things. Some people came in, started breaking things inside the club, okay, and they broke my tone arms on my turntables. I have never felt so hurt in my life. Okay. And that was one of the most like painful experiences I've had. And of course the management was kind enough to say that they're going to replace the tone arms and everything. But it is very hard to find tone arms for Technics Mark 5G MK 1210s because it's all sold out everywhere. Yeah. So that was one of the most horrible moments. That, and there's another one close in tie with where I was fist pumping for a concert I was playing for in Bangalore, and this shoulder is dislocated for me, so I can't do this. It'll fall off, and it'll take a while. Yeah. So when I started the fist pump, it came out, and the DJ console was here. I actually sat under the console. I was so much in pain. I was trying to locate it, and I couldn't for half an hour. So I came and I was trying to mix it. I had to like with one hand DJ, and the crowd couldn't tell the difference. It was luckily for me. I would say. And it was on for 10 minutes. I was so much in pain. I'll tell you that. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do all my fist pump in this hand. Never raise this hand. And now you got a good lesson. Yeah, dislocation is a real problem. Yeah. We got to protect our hands, insure our hands and fingers.
Okay. A pre-show ritual you do every time?
Pre-show, I just a good cardio. Just go for a nice walk, go for a nice run. I go through a lot of my tracks. I open my Serato, go through all my crates once. Just check if everything is good. That kind of a sense. And of course, we have the sound check in itself is the best pre-show ritual in itself, right? Obviously, yes. So that's the thing that itself is good.
If you have to choose between one music, like you have to choose one music genre rather than hip hop, what would it be?
I like bass music, drum and bass.
Okay.
All of that.
Something.
Yeah, around that, it's still, because I listen to, I love Craze, I love DJ Godfather, and, Godfather plays a lot of ghetto tech. That's good. Yeah. Craze, a lot of drum and bass. Yeah. Craze and Clever, back 10 years ago, they had this team, Clever and Craze would play a lot of drum and bass and stuff. It sounded really cool, and that's something that's, I was like, what, something else I have to do, I'll experiment with would be, these are the stuff it would be. Drum and bass and ghetto tech.
Okay. Nice. So that was a quick fire round. We are done with it. And now the most funny and most entertaining part of the podcast. Okay. These are few slangs. Okay. Okay. So my roots are from Lucknow, but I'm born and brought up in Mumbai. Okay. So I've added one Marathi slang here and two famous slangs in Lucknow which we say. Okay. Okay. And you have to say this after me. Okay. In the same way I'm saying. Okay. Cool. So it's kind of a fun thing. Yeah. And this is what DJs do when they get irritated of the person banging on their head for a request. Right. We say this. Okay. So that's what we say. Right. So In Lucknow, we say, Ama yaar chalo be.
Amma yaar chalo be.
Yeah, but in the same way, Ama yaar chalo be.
Amma yaar chalo be.
Yeah. In Marathi, when someone tries to teach you something, but you already know that, okay, we say Bapala nako shiko.
Okay. Bapala nako shiko.
Bapala nako shiko.
Bapala nako shiko.
Yeah. Okay. In Kanpur, when you want to slap, like when we say, I'll slap on your face, right? So we say, एक कंटाप देंगे कान के नीचे.
एक कंटाप देंगे कान के नीचे.
So yeah, that was fun. And a last one in hip hop. After Gully Gang, the slang went pretty famous, but we are doing it in Mumbai since our childhood. So we say, "Kya bolti public?"
Kya bolti public?
Yeah. So that was cool. And here our podcast comes to an end. And thank you, sir.
Thank you so
for
much
joining us.
Jay. Lovely.
Thank you so much, sir. So yeah, signing off.